Hello and welcome back to the Turtle Beach MLG PAX Prime Invitational coming up next. You know the matchup, you voted for it. We got CompLexity going up against FaZe competitive, but Benson is Spider-Man. That's fine. Is that your favorite superhero?
It is. I want a picture with him, I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna hunt him down. I'm gonna track him down. PAX isn't that big.
Alright, so let's talk a bit about both these teams. Obviously we know a lot about CompLexity, so let's start off by talking about FaZe. So these guys, they have the trio going. They got replays, they got Slack, and they got Huddle. And that guy's messing up our camera shot.
It's fine. Don't worry about it. It's not like, you know, in the anyway, as you say, talking about FaZe a little bit, they just look, to me, like a very, very strong lineup. I mean, there was obviously a lot of controversy after Anaheim about the FaZe lineup with the team changes they made. But for me, this team just looks solid, and I expect to see some big things from them here this weekend.
Alright, so let's look at them individually. So you got replays. He was formerly on BBV Gaming at MLG Dallas. They got 3rd place.
Yep.
So then let's look at Slack, Huddle, and Spacey. These guys, they've been teaming together for a while. You might remember them from the Unite Gaming roster at Dallas, where they placed 2nd, only losing to Impact. And actually, they used to team with someone who they're playing against, Clayster.
Yep, Clayster. A little bit of a rivalry now between those two teams, as you can start to imagine. Kind of like the same as the first game, obviously, where you had Parasite and Karma. All these rivalries between these professional players, it just makes it so much more interesting when you really understand the storyline between all these players on the pro circuit.
All right, so the matchups here. So I want to talk a bit more about FaZe for a bit. I think Huddle and Slack, they're the 2 players to watch for the team. They're going to be the roamers. They're going to be the guys picking up the kills. If you look at Huddle, he'll be the aggressive assault rifle. If you look at Slack, he's going to do some of the dirty work with the submachine gun, but mainly his job is to support Spacely, who's their objective player. We're going to watch him, especially in Capture Flag. Standout's probably his best map. We see him all the time. He loves to sneak around, get behind enemy lines, and make plays happen there, but also their anchor player is going to be replays. And if you ask any top player about replays, they have nothing but good things to say about him.
Of course, he really is one of the top players at what he does. And, you know, going back to Spacely, I love watching Spacely play.
He's a sneaky beaver.
He really is a sneaky beaver. He's so dominant in the way that he plays the game. And, you know, he's going to be going up against this CompLexity lineup. And now, you know, when you talk about CompLexity, wow, where do we start? I mean, this team just dominating all of Black Ops 2, coming towards the end of its title series, I guess you could say. And, you know, it's no reason why. Every time you look at them and watch them play, they're so dominant. Obviously, the roster consisting of Clayster, TP, Crim6, and Aches. I mean, it's just enough to strike fear into anyone's heart.
Not only that, they don't show Mr. X on that photo. Mr. X is a huge part of CompLexity.
He should just have his own slide.
He's one of the most winningest players in MLG history. So the experience that he brings to CompLexity.
Yeah. Wow.
He's like FPS god alongside with Crim6. You put Crim6 or Mr. X and with a controller and an FPS game, they're just going to dominate.
Well, you can see them there on your screen. Clayster to your left and Aches to your right-hand side. And this CompLexity team, something that I was talking about earlier on in that last series, is their hardpoint game. Now, their hardpoint game is second to none. And I actually sat down with these guys as much as possibly can, trying to understand how they play the game. And they were saying that their key to success in hardpoint isn't controlling their own spawns, it's controlling the opposition spawns. And they said, watch out the way they play. Very, very often you'll just see kind of like TP just lie on the hill, and he can put his control down, he can lean back. He doesn't even need to play because his teammates, they're cycling around, controlling the spawns, slaying around the outside of the hill, and just dominating the spawns.
Not only that, even more recently, we've seen that TP, this guy could slay as well. We've seen him time and time again, just finish on top of the week. Yeah, we've seen him on top of the CompLexity leaderboard, whether it be Capture Flag, Search and Destroy, or Hardpoint. Everybody on this CompLexity team, they're so well-rounded in all the game types, each of them could go off at any given moment.
The biggest game mode that I love to watch CompLexity play for me has to be CTF. I mean, the amount of games we've seen at events where it's been a CompLexity CTF game, and it's just been one of those crazy games where you've sat down, you've watched it, and you've gone, how has that just happened? That makes no sense, but they can make crazy comebacks when it should be impossible. No other team could do it, and then they can dominate games as well. You know, 6-7 cap leads that we've seen them have. They're just such a strong team, and it's no wonder, you know, with them sat there, that they are such a dominant team, and they're going for their 4th consecutive title.
Okay, so if I'm looking at these 2 teams, I'm like, all right, so CompLexity, it looks like they're more of the slay-heavy team here when compared to FaZe, whereas FaZe, they're a bit more focused around the objective, so it's going to be CompLexity, they're going to try to pick up as many kills as they can around the map, whereas FaZe, they want to sneak around, they want to get behind you and make plays happen from that side of the map. But, Benson, do you have any idea what the maps are going to be?
I believe the first game is going to be Hardpoint Raid.
Alright.
I'm pretty sure that's what they play. I love Hardpoint Raid, I'm not going to lie, so I'm excited to see how CompLexity are going to play this. They always seem to just dominate Raid so well, so FaZe really do have their work cut out for them, to be honest with you. But going into the rest of the series, you know, the Search and Destroys and the CTFs, for me, that's where FaZe can really come in strong, and you can see that, obviously, the rules to Hardpoint and the different locations of the hills. And let me guess, you helped out with this animation as well, right?
Oh yeah, I did. But Raid Hardpoint, I feel this is more a map about your setup on the outside of the hardpoint.
Yes.
If you're able to establish control on the outside, protect the guy inside, you're going to be able to get a lot of time, more specifically over at the garage hardpoint and the basketball hardpoint, where we see teams rack up a lot of time.
That really is one of the key hills on this map that you really need to control. Control that hill. It is pretty much a key to success on Hardpoint Raid. But, as I said, going over to the CTFs and the search and destroys. Now, for me, CTF CompLexity is always going to win that. If you take a CTF of CompLexity, you're God. It really is that simple.
The same could be said with Hardpoint as well.
To an extent, I would agree with you on that. But, speaking to Mr. Rex earlier on, and he was saying how, we'll just forfeit the S&D, don't worry about it. We'll win the Hardpoint, we'll win the CTF. The S&D, we'll try and speed things along for you guys. I was like, okay, well, they're not feeling too confident in their search and destroy, even though, to be honest, they're very, very good at it.
We saw them at Atlanta for the UMG event when they secured their seat at ESWC.
Yes.
Search and destroy was really their only weakness.
It seems that way.
I know that they've been screaming a lot against Team Caliber, who was the team that beat them in Search and Destroy, and I know that they're going to leave their theater on for that to see, okay, so I would see Team Caliber, they're probably better than Search and Destroy. Why is that? What are the kind of strategies that they're implementing, and, maybe they stole a thing or two from that?
Hopefully, we've seen a lot of teams now, as more and more tournaments coming out, they're going into their theater and they're saying, all right, what went wrong? We need to analyze where we went wrong, and we need to fix it as quickly as possible. And obviously, we were talking about Envy, they tried it, first game of the day, didn't really play as well as I expected them to, but still, they managed to take a map, and that's what counts here. It is all about the maps in the round robin format. It doesn't matter if you lose 2-1 in the series, you're not out. Everyone has to play everyone here at PAX, and it is all about the total amount of maps that you manage to pick up.
Yeah, also going on at the side station here at the Turtle Beach booth, we have Soar versus Astonished Bad History. I know there were a lot of questions about who is Bad History, how did they qualify here? Well, they got a lot of pro points to their name.
Impact versus Bad History. Impact versus
Impact versus Bad History, my fault. I saw the Soar jersey.
Even I like it's actually Unite versus Bad History.
Oh, it's Unite versus wow, we're all over the place.
But Unite obviously just coming off strong off a win there, 2 rounds to 1 or 2 maps to 1 against Envy. I'm expecting them to produce some good results over there, so we'll try and keep our eyes out for that, try and keep you updated.
Yeah, but I just wanted to talk to them about Bad History. So you got Dito, you got FaZe, you got Threat and Renegade Drizzy. And Threat and Drizzy, they have a lot of pro points to their name. So they've been competing online in the 2000 series and all the game balance tournaments as well as the ladders. They've been trying to rack up as many pro points as possible. Then when you pair them with Dito and FaZe, they're kind of like a pickup team thrown together, but they're here to compete, and we'll see how they do in the first match. I got to rejoin back because the lobby froze, but I'm ready to start this first match off between FaZe and CompLexity.
It should be a good one. You can see on your screen Aches, and Aches, one of my favorite players to watch. There's something about him that he just produces the magic when he really needs to. As soon as he's put in that position where it's like, okay, he needs to go clutch, that's when he will always produce the goods. And that's the key to CompLexity's success in a way, is each and every one of their players can always do that. Whenever they're in that situation, we see them pick it up. If it's an S&D 1 versus 3, the amount of times we've seen CompLexity clutch those rounds is just unreal.
Yeah, I've been talking to the CompLexity guys for many events now. It seems like whenever Aches is focused, whenever Aches is calling out in-game, then they're just close to being unstoppable. And that's why Mr. X is there. He's there to keep Aches focused on the game, one thing only, and of course with his wealth of experience, the CompLexity squad, who can beat them at this point?
Right now, I don't think there is a team out there that can.
I think me and you should try to make a team.
Well, that'd be good.
You're not
you'd be letting me down. You'd be letting me down. It'd be like carrying dead weight. I don't think I have a rucksack big enough to fit you in there. Carry you against CompLexity.
It's a backpack.
It's a rucksack. Well, we can agree to disagree on that, but still, CompLexity, such a dominant team. They really, really are. And for me right now, there is no one that can actually take them down. I just can't see it. They're really on that hot streak. They're still motivated, and that's the key. They are still hungry for success. They came here and they're like, we are winning this tournament. This tournament has our name on it. We want to try and win 4 tournaments back to back.
Not just this tournament.
Crazy.
They're talking about winning every single tournament from here on out. That is CompLexity's goal. If they lose, they're going to be very depressed. So here we go. The first map, it's about to get started. Raid Hardpoint between FaZe and CompLexity.
Well, we'll have a look. Who do you want to spectate first?
Aches.
Straight on Aches. Not wasting any time. You want to spectate Aches, and we'll see. What do you expect from Aches right at the start?
All right, so he's got an assault rifle, which means that he kind of wants to look over the players inside the hardpoint. So I'm expecting him to go maybe top art, maybe a little map and challenge kitchen, try to fight from pillars. But with an assault rifle, generally that's not the weapon you want when you're inside the hill, when you're in close range combat. That's where you're going to see Teep and Crim 6.
Well, we'll have a look at Aches straight away, not wasting any time, running straight down the middle of the map, leaving his 3 teammates to go towards that left-hand side. hasn't actually seen anyone in that kitchen side, so he is free to roam. The nade goes straight over. And that
misfire on the crossbow there.
Okay, he's going to pick up one, can't find the second. And yeah, as you said, the crossbow being used, we've seen more and more teams actually use that at the start of this. Aim for that van, try and blow it up, see if they can make some plays. And right now, Aches just going to try and slay it and give them cover like you said.
You know, it's funny because CompLexity, there are guys that initially used that crossbow strategy. FaZe, they tried to use it against CompLexity. Obviously, it didn't work out, so the team kill off the start allows CompLexity to gain 25 unanswered points. They're off to a roll here.
That's a lot.
Yeah, let's go on board with the anchor player. Claystar, he's about to find a whole lot of players in his line of sight.
Just as he tried to turn around, he did get picked off there by Spacely, and finally, FaZe do get some control. Now, this is going to be interesting. How CompLexity are going to flip this spawn? With only 13 seconds left, there really is no point challenging that hill, and you can see all the players actually making their way towards the middle of the map. They need to try and pick up this kill. TP's going to go and try and pick it up. Doesn't manage to do so, but Claystar comes in strong, picks up Spacely on the middle of the map, and you can see Aches actually is trying to dominate that spawn. Flick on board with him. Has a player right at the back. That's going to be Spacely off spawn again. Managed to pick that up, but still, CompLexity do not have these spawns.
Yeah, now he finds replays, taking out the anchor player for FaZe. What a shot by Aches, as now he takes control for the spawns for his team for the time being, but he gets taken out. It's going to be Crimsix inside the hardpoint for CompLexity, but he's cleaned up as well. Spacely on a 2-coast, but everyone I'm switching to is dying, Benson.
I just stayed on board with Aches on my screen. I was just like, well, I'm going to have a look at him. He seems to start off very, very strong. Unfortunately, he does go down. Claystar, meanwhile, 4 kills to his name. He's sat on that hill as well. Will be getting dangerously close to streaks. Picks up one more, extending it to 5. Gets the Bloodthirsty as well. 27 seconds on the hill. Is he going to start thinking about the rotation in the spawns? It looks that way. He immediately looks over towards pillars. Did just see a glimpse of someone, and you can see on the minimap, all 4 players rotate. Sees them all in bottom red. Can't pick up a single kill. Didn't get a streak either. So much time on that kitchen hardpoint went to CompLexity, but FaZe, they're like, okay, we'll invest the rest of the scrappy time. We'll try to get our setup going on the garage hardpoint. If we lock this one down, we're looking to get at least 45 seconds from it. So it's going to be Slack trying to pick up the kills on the outside of the hardpoint. He's going to find a lot of players inside hardpoint. He gets taken out by Crimsix, and here comes the CompLexity swarm. Are they going to break into the hardpoint? Well, it doesn't look like it. In fact, it does look like it. Crim just pretty much just walked straight in there. The hardpoint was pinched. Can Crim pick up the kill? Yes, he can. Needs to dodge the Semtex. Not going to happen. Hits the van, blows up, and FaZe with the control. But you can see on that minimap, here comes CompLexity. Aggression once again. CompLexity do have the lead at this point, 71 points to 40. But it is looking like FaZe can come all the way back on this back garage hill. Yeah, if they're able to lock it down, keep in mind the next hardpoint, the basketball court. Yes, that one is pretty easy to lock down as well. So we're going to see who wins the rotation there. But right now, 25 seconds remaining in the garage. It's replays. It looks like his team, they're doing a great job protecting him from the outside. It's going to be Crimsix trying to fight his way in. He's unable to. So while we have some downtime on replay screen, let's pop up our scoreboard. All right, so 13-9 Spacely. He's leading the FaZe squad, where 11-11, it's going to be Aches on top for CompLexity. And what's important to note is replays getting dangerously close towards that hellstorm. If he gets challenged on this hill, which I don't expect him to do, he would be even closer. But right now, you can see his teammates trying to overextend towards that laundry side, but CompLexity have the whole basketball hill locked down. And this is where it comes down to it. This is all about how they control their spawns. There's going to be a very important kill coming from Claystar, who is being challenged towards his right-hand side. In fact, there's going to be 3 players challenging him. C-Slack shuts him down, no problem. Immediately looks towards that kitchen, but there's going to be a player directly behind him. He didn't see him. Going to get taken down, and Spacey's going to try and push onto that hill, but in goes CompLexity to the rescue. They're just so strong at holding down hills once they get them. Huge 2-piece by TP as he took out replays. He was so close to that Hellstorm missile, so that's not going to work in favor of FaZe, of course, but now TP, he's the guy inside the hardpoint all the time for CompLexity. Now he's got a big job to do. As you see, a stream of red for FaZe. They're all going to be pushing through the front of the hardpoint, but just like that, they all just died. That initiative there from TP, turn around. Can he pick up this kill? It's going to be contested. He needs to go for the reload, going to jump and challenge. Still doesn't get it. There we go, picks it up. And right now, CompLexity have picked up pretty much every second of time on this basketball hill. Bar the 6 seconds of contention right there, this has been all CompLexity, and this is why they're so dominant at hardpoint. They can go into a hill where it's very close, all of a sudden pick things up and just dominate like no other team can. Alright, so around a 50-point lead for CompLexity, moving into the square hardpoint here near the middle team. This one, he's just going off right now. Give him the sentry gun. 3 straight kills for TP here on a 6-kill streak. He gets taken out by an EMP grenade, but the damage has been done. Bet said is now he's got all of his Scorestreak to work with. That's exactly what we were talking about earlier on. You know, we normally regard TP as being the OBJ player, the player that will just lie down, not really have to do much, but as soon as he wants to, he can just step up to that next level. Something we've seen time and time again on MLG Pro scrims. He can just top frag whenever he wants, and I'm going to have a look at his score right now on the scoreboard. He's currently 12-9, 2 caps, 2 defense, but the most important thing is the streaks that he's just got. Yeah, those are going to come into play on the very next hardpoint. Already threw down his sentry gun to cover his teammates inside the hardpoint near the pool stairs, but that looks like it was dealt with from FaZe. But if CompLexity lose control, or if they're trying to break this next hardpoint over near the statue, the Hellstorm missile, it's perfect for that. Look at where FaZe are spawning as well on the bottom of your screen. They're spawning all the way down at basketball, and this is going to be an important play from Replays. He's actually going to be coming behind Clayster. If he picks up this kill, he could flip the spawns. Clayster turns and shuts down Replays. A huge initiative play from Clayster just to anticipate that's where the spawns were going to be. And once again, Spacely is going to be trying to challenge. He knows this is an important place to hold. If he can hold this top laundry, he will get the spawns. Clayster has just bamboozled him somewhat. He's actually going to be underneath him, picks up that kill. Nice play from Spacely, but CompLexity still with control of the hill. Spacely really starting to heat up now with 4 kills, Revan.
Yeah, and he's doing some great work right now for FaZe, just staying alive over near the anchor position, getting his team the better spawn so that they can put pressure on the hardpoint, but that's not who's going to play. So close to Scorestreak, but Spacely, he gets taken out. It's going to be Crim6 now on your screen, 2 kills for you, but it's all about the rotation to the next hardpoint now for CompLexity. They're going to try to battle through the laundry side of the map, which is exactly what you want to do, and there you go. Crim and T pick up the necessary kills, and now Crim controls Kitchen.
They just completely destroyed everybody at the back, and Crim going to carry on a little bit of a rampage. 4 kills to his name right now, halfway towards the health. Can he find the 5th? He's going to be tagged up, only gets the assist, but it doesn't matter at this point. They have the spawns, and CompLexity pretty much approaching that 200-point mark, and FaZe 88 points on the board. They're yet to actually hit triple digits.
Yeah, over 100-point lead for CompLexity. They're looking so strong in their hardpoint as always, but Crim doesn't get Scorching. It's going to be Clayster on your screen, the anchor player for CompLexity, as they come out strong here in the first map. They're looking so darn good here. Raid Hardpoint, he finds one more, finds Huddle. Now, I want to take a look at our scoreboard once the action calms down here. So Clayster's at 25 and 21 8s. He's on top. 20 and 15, the anchor Clayster, and 6 defense as well for Crim6.
8's currently on that hill, trying to win that gunfight. Not going to happen. Slacked did well there for FaZe, just controlling it. It's going to be a very, very hard task to try and come back. There's 30 seconds left. Now, if FaZe can rotate properly onto that garage hill and get all that time, they will be straight back in this game, and all of CompLexity's hard work will be pretty much for nothing. But the last 22 seconds looking like it could go to CompLexity. FaZe know they have to try and challenge this. They can't allow it, but Crim's going to shut down Spacely. Pre-fires the right-hand side, and they're going to pick up this remaining 13 seconds. FaZe have rotated all 4 players set up on that garage hill.
Yeah, that's a huge 20 seconds for CompLexity. They're more than happy taking it. That's going to put them to within 30 to close out here. But take a look at this. They got a sentry gun set up in the garage. This is best case scenario, but that sentry gun, it was just taken out. It didn't even get a chance to do anything.
Immediately, as soon as it was down, they were like, bye-bye. So that really isn't going to be efficient or effective at all. Spacely, meanwhile, is going to try and pick up 2 kills on the right-hand side. Doesn't manage to do so. Aches is going to put a stop to that. But whilst all this action is going on, Revan, FaZe, they're on the hill. It's going to be contested, though. Replays with a big play to try and make it. Shut down 1. Can he find the 2nd? Yes, he can! Replays goes big for Team FaZe. 1 more on the hill. Can he try and get the shot? It's going to be Aches. Nothing but him. Pre-fires the left-hand side. Sees 1 more. Replays desperately trying to keep FaZe in this game, and he's done so well. And it looks like FaZe now actually be able to come back into this game.
Amazing job by Replay staying alive, but CompLexity, they're able to contest a good 15-20 seconds just by jumping in and out of the hardpoint. But now Replays, he's getting close to Scorestreak. It's going to be Slack calling in his lightning strike off the rotation, but it didn't pick up a single kill.
And this next hill, the basketball hill, was what CompLexity held down for a full 50 seconds. The only 10 seconds they dropped was due to congestion. It wasn't even FaZe's time to pick up. So FaZe really do have their work cut out for them. But you see, that was nice plays there from TP, just defending from Spacely. TP's actually going to use a Hellstorm missile as well. That could shut down 2 players on the right-hand side. Does so. He's going to stay alive on this hill. And CompLexity now look like they can close out this hardpoint.
Yeah, the spawns for FaZe quite far away from the hardpoint. Yeah, so it's looking good for CompLexity. They only need 14 more to close it out as they start off strong. First map raid hardpoint. They handle FaZe in convincing fashion, winning by around 100 points, 99 to be exact. But there you see TP's just going to defend himself one more time as he finishes 24 and 18. CompLexity, they're all hyped up, and wow, they're so good at hardpoint.
This is something that you need to be careful of. As soon as CompLexity get hyped, that's when you need to start worrying, because the communication steps to that next level. Their gun skill just seems to step up to that next level. It's just something that can be extremely scary. We've seen it time and time again at tournaments. So tough for the opposition to come in strong. And 8's 33 and 24. You called it. You said watch out for him. If he plays well, it could be all over for FaZe. And 8's just had a phenomenal game with Hardpoint.
All right, so CompLexity, they win their first map of the tournament, but it looks like we're going to have some more capture the flag coming up next, where we've seen CompLexity shine time and time again.
It's without a shadow of a doubt their best game mode. I think everyone would agree with that. It just really is their strongest game mode that they have out there, as well as Hardpoint. S&D is going to be their weak one, so we need to watch out for that. That'll be later on in game number 3. But for now, guys, we're going to go for a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back with you with game number 2.